Before we get into today's video, I just want to say that this video is not going to be monetized. You know, I don't really know how to put it, but it doesn't feel right to me to monetize it. So I'm not going to monetize this video. Just throwing that out there. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. That shit that I don't even know what is stuck in my head. It will not go away. This video is not like normally videos that I do. It's just going to be a very different video. I've talked to friends and family to see if I should make this video, and I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time. I just felt like at the time I wasn't ready and I didn't feel comfortable making this video. Just like, okay, I definitely want to speak up about it, only because it has a lot to do with me not being consistent on social media, especially YouTube. I've always been off and on. You know, I just kind of stopped doing social media. There was a certain time where I just would not like upload till like, it would be like 5 months apart, or like 3 months, or like, you know, you guys know. I had a lot of comments and DMs asking like, why aren't you on social media anymore? Like, why aren't you uploading? Like, I miss your videos, like what, like this and this and that. And I'm about to tell you guys. You guys will know. Once we get into this video, you guys will know, and it will all make sense, and you guys will put stuff together and be like, that makes sense. Not only that, but I just want to spread awareness, and I know a lot of people can relate to what I went through, and if not similar. Before I start talking about it, I'm a little nervous. First, I do want to send my condolences and my prayers to Shanquilla Robinson family. I don't know much about it to speak up on the story. I don't like know the exact full story. I've just been seeing like little videos and stuff like that on Instagram and TikTok. Basically, she went to Cabo with some of her friends and she did not make it back. She passed away, and yeah, I just want to send my prayers to her family. It is such a horrible and sad situation, and yeah, just spread awareness. And I know I'm not the only one that went through this. I'm sorry if I'm a little I don't think I've ever filmed a video like this, so it's very hard for me. Let's get into today's video, you guys. Hopefully I don't cry, because I feel like every time like I speak about it, it makes me very emotional. Last year, April 7th, 2021, I had this friend, this girl that I thought was my friend, set up a robbery on me. And obviously my boyfriend at the time, I was at gunpoint for the majority of the time that he was there. Basically just set up a whole robbery on me, and she played it like she didn't know the guy. Obviously, you know, she brought this guy that she knew into my house, and she played like she didn't know him. She like faked everything, you know. I'm not gonna get too much in detail of what happened, because it is so much. Like, it would probably take me like an hour or two to talk about everything. It went down, you know. But basically, this girl that I used to hang out with, I knew about her, and I knew her for like a year. We started hanging out for probably like 6 to 8 months. We were like hanging out, like she would like come over, would go out to eat. She was super goofy, like just like me. Like, if you guys know me like in real life, like you guys know like I am super outgoing, friendly. Like I used to be very friendly, going goofy as fuck, like just, you know. And so she was just like me. Like, we were literally like the same. And so it was so weird, because I would be like, man, like something seems off about her. Like it just wasn't right. Like it wasn't sitting right with me, and I would ignore them. I would ignore all the signs. And this one time she was like, hey, like, do you want to go grab some food? And so I was like, okay, like, yeah, like, you want me to come over? Because usually like when my friends, like, we go out to eat or whatever it is, like they come over, I go to their house, and then we ride together, right? So she had came over and stuff, and like I said, I'm not going to go on about like every single detail. I'm just gonna like, there's a whole like case and stuff. She comes over and we're just talking. She was only like in my apartment for like 5-10 minutes, right? And so we're in my makeup room. I had my own room and I had my makeup room, so we were in my makeup room, and I was sitting. I was literally, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm sitting. Not mind my outfit, please. I'm sitting like this on my phone, right? And she's sitting in front of me on her phone too. as I'm editing the video, I might just like cut off and throw in some clips just because I left some shit out, so don't mind that. I just showed you guys like how I was like that position I was just sitting in. At my old apartment, this was the door, it was this way, but I was sitting this way. So I was sitting how I just showed you guys, and then she was in front of me. And I was like, you want me to order us some food? So I think I was ordering sweet pears. I literally called the place and I placed an order, and she was like, I'll be right back, like I'm going to go get my vape in the car. Okay, so this gives me like the chills, like as she leaves to go get her vape, that's not what she's going to go do. I'm sitting there like, and this is when she like leaves my apartment, like I hear the door shut, and I'm sitting there like how I just showed you guys, and I felt like a huge gut, like, and I literally said to myself, I was like, why do I feel like she's about to rob me? Like, why do I feel like she's about to steal from me? And I look at her purse. I'm like looking at her purse while I'm feeling that way. And it was like the strongest feeling that I've ever had in my whole entire life. And so I'm sitting like that, and I see she like walks past my makeup room and she goes into the restroom that was in front. How my old apartment was is it kind of exactly how my layout is now. So this is the restroom that she was in, right? So when she came from getting her vape, she went like this and she went into this restroom. And a guy comes in and he has a gun, and he's like, so I'm sitting in that position, and he comes with the gun and he was like, get the fuck out. He's like, get out. And he's like telling me all this shit, right? I'm not gonna say what he's saying to me, but he's just saying like, where's this, where's that, da da da, like whatever. Obviously like she's been into my apartment, so she's saw everything that me and my boyfriend had. And then obviously like me doing YouTube and stuff, like she was like, oh, like, you know, like YouTube, whatever the fuck. So he has a gun to my head the whole time, and he drags me out of my room, and he starts telling her like, hey, like tie her up, like this and this and that. And I'm just like, what is going on? So at first I thought it was a joke. I thought it was when he came and he had the gun pointed at me, and I looked at him and I said, what the fuck? Like I literally laughed, y'all. I literally laughed, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I thought it was like my boyfriend like playing a joke. Like I thought he like came home early like with his friend. They're like, oh, like give me your money, like some shit you see in fucking movies, you know? So I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, come on, like get out. And I'm like, oh shit, like he's being for real. Like who the fuck is this? Never seen his face, obviously nothing. So as I'm getting dragged out, I see her come out of the restroom. She comes out and she's like, oh my god, like you know. So y'all, let's say me and you are hanging out, right? We're at my house, right? And I'm like, oh, I forgot something in my car, let me go get it. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna go back into the room and I'm gonna say, oh, like I found it, like whatever, yada yada yada, right? Why would I go get something in my car and sneakily go into the restroom? And like, you know, like it's not gonna make sense. Like why would you do, like why would you, I would never be like I forgot something in my car and then just go into the bathroom, like come in like sneakily, because I didn't hear the door open or anything, like come in sneakily. And also like my door, I don't even know how to explain it, but like when you would open my door was like very like heavy. I don't know how to explain it, but when you would open my door, like at the apartment that I was in, like it was very loud to where if you even open the door you can hear. Like I didn't hear like a door open. Obviously she came in sneakily and she just went into the bathroom because obviously he came in. She didn't want to, you know, the whole entire thing was very horribly planned out, and you can tell it was a setup. Even when I was speaking to the detective and the cops, they automatically knew like this is a setup. Like we're not telling me like to tie her up with like an iPhone charger and just doing the most, right? And we're arguing, like I'm literally sitting there and I'm arguing with him, right? And he's threatening me, saying like, I'm gonna fucking hit you right now, like I'm gonna do this to you, like I'm gonna do that. And like she's literally playing like she doesn't not know him. Like she was like fake crying. She's like, oh my god, like she didn't know him, like we didn't know him, right? And so he places his gun on the counter. At that point, like you feel like, okay, you're literally in survival mode. You're like, what do I do? Like I never thought in a million years like, having a gun to my head or just in front of me like the whole entire time, you would think like, oh my god, like with me, I thought that I was going to like be freaking, like obviously I was freaking out, but I was like, how the fuck, like I'm in survival mode. Like the fact that I didn't get up and I was like, oh my god, like everything's right here, like take it, like just take it, like leave. Like I was trying to fight for my life, you know, and everything that was in my home and stuff. And obviously like material stuff doesn't matter, okay, like all that shit, but like I don't know, just at the time, like I was just trying to fight back. So he places his gun on my counter, right? So I'm sitting like this, right? So I'm sitting like this, and he's standing right in front of me. And the girl, we're gonna call her Trash. The trash is right next to me, okay? And so he's standing here, and he places his gun like on the counter. So this is the counter, this is my counter, and he's standing right here. He places the gun right here. So my thought is, I want to grab that gun and I want to shoot I want to shoot you, you know, like that is literally my thought. Like, I'm gonna shoot you, bitch, you know? I get up and I try and grab his gun. So I literally get up and I like try, and he like gets his gun, literally like pistol whip the fuck out of me and like hit me to the floor. I literally lost eyesight. Like, I lost fucking eyesight for probably 5 minutes. Like, my this eye right here was blind. I was screaming and I was yelling, and I was like, oh my god. Like, so in my past, like in my past videos, that cut I have on my eyebrow, sorry, I don't want to get emotional. I'm about to put the picture up right here. I think I've showed it in one of my videos. And the only thing that actually like that got cut was literally my eyebrow, which was insane to me that I didn't have anything else. Obviously, like, I had bruises and stuff on my arms and stuff from him like pushing me to the floor and like literally whooping my ass. But that was it. Like, nothing else in my face. I only had that cut. I was bleeding. I was gushing out blood, and I'm yelling like on the top of my fucking lungs, like going insane. He literally dragged me into the restroom. It's like, shut the fuck up, like da-da-da. And like, I could not breathe, y'all. Like, I literally could not breathe because my floor, like, it wasn't carpet, it was literally tile. And so like, just imagine like you like smashing onto it. I'm yelling, and he dragged me into the restroom, and I like could not breathe, right? And this girl is just like, when she saw me bleeding, she was like, oh my, like both of their faces were in shock. They were like, oh my god, like because they didn't, like, that's not how it was supposed to go planned, you know? Like, that's not how it was supposed to like go. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, or like how the fuck it was gonna go, but baby, no, I felt like I was gonna die. I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, like, please, like, I'm literally crying, and I'm like, I need some water. Like, I ask him for fucking water, and he goes, and at this time, like, he's ramming my fucking shit, like, everywhere. He's opening the cabinet, ramming like everything, right through all my shit. And my phone was in my makeup room. See, I had my hand in my phone, right? So when he dragged me out, like, my phone, like, I left it in my makeup room, and he didn't touch it or anything, which was so weird to me too. He gets a water bottle and he throws it at me, and he's like, come on, bro, like, come on, like, where's this, where's that? Like, I swear to God, I'm about to fucking hit you again. And this girl has audacity to say, do y'all have cameras in here? Girl, I'm fucking bleeding from my fucking eye. I'm screaming, like, I'm in pain, bitch, and you're worried about if a camera is in my house? She's like, oh my god, like, she's like, oh, just give everything to him, like, da 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 da, like, so he can leave. Like, bitch, no, are you dumb? Like, I had to play, like I literally had to like play along in a way. I don't know what it was at the time that like after everything was done, I was like, I wish I could have beat this bitch's ass. Like, I wish I could have grabbed, like, anyways, I'm not gonna go there. She's like grabbing a bunch of toilet paper, and she's like helping me like with my blood and stuff from my eyebrow. And he kept coming in the restroom like every 2 minutes. Like, he would go and like, this is what he would do. He would go out and he would try to like look for everything, right? But he would come back in like the restroom and pat me down. He would literally pat me down to make sure like I didn't have a phone or anything. And then he would go back out and like come back out. He's like, bro, I swear to God, if you have a phone on you, or like if you call the cop, whatever the fuck, right? Then she's over here just saying like, oh my god, like who the fuck is he? Like, I think he like followed me home. Like, I know who he is. Like, he followed me home. Like, she's like pretending to cry, or like trying to get tears out of her. So then he finally leaves. So I hear the door shut, and then before that he grabs her car keys, and he comes in the bathroom. He goes, whose keys are these, knowing they're hers? And she's like, it's mine. And he's like, okay. So he takes her keys, right, and takes whatever the fuck he took, got in her car and left. And it makes sense because they rode together, but he not gonna go there as well again. But anyways, finally leaves, and then I go, like, I think she goes and like opens the door, and she's like, oh my god, he took my car, like, he took my car, like, we have to go get my car, like, come on. I'm like, girl, you're worried about getting your car getting stolen? Like, this is a fucking setup. So obviously I didn't say that, but I was like, no, I'm calling the cops. So I call the cops, I call my boyfriend, and I'm like, they just robbed, like, going crazy, okay, on the phone. He's like, oh my god, like, and he leaves, right? And then the cops showed up. Also, during the whole time of you know, of me talking to him, I would just stare at his face. I would stare at his face, and I'm like, I have to remember how he looks like. Like, I need to pay attention to how he looks like I know his face. Like, that was like the main thing that I was also worried about, was like his face, like, you know, like, remember his face. The detectives came and stuff like that, and then when they came and my boyfriend came, like, he was just asking us questions and stuff. Obviously she ranted him out, was like, oh yeah, like, he looked like this and that, like, I want to press, like, she was saying like, oh, I want to press charges on him, like, this and that, like, renting him out. Like, girl, like, y'all just both set it up together, now you're renting him out, like, what? I guess that was like part of it though, so it like made it look more real. So then I had to leave because my eyebrow was literally, it would not stop, like, running. And the cops were like, you're gonna have to go to the hospital, like, and get stitches. So I went to the hospital, and then she stayed behind with like the detectives and cops. I went to the hospital, I got stitches and stuff, and I'm like crying the whole entire way, like, even at the hospital, like, while they put the stitches on me and stuff. I get back to the house, and like, we do everything, we talk to the detectives and all that. Obviously this video is too long already, I don't want to make this video long. And after the robbery, I was like, I need to get a dog, like, I want to get a Doberman, because, you know, they're known for like being protective. If you guys don't know, like, I have a Doberman. Actually I have two. But a little backstory on Zebby, because I get a lot of questions on like where I got her and stuff like that. So crazy story on how I got her. One time I was laying in bed and I was watching this cop show. It was these two cops, and they were arresting this one guy, and his name was Zebby. And they're like, yeah, Zebby just got charged with this and this and that. And like, as soon as I heard the name Zebby, I was like, I love that name. Like, that is like Zebby. Like, it's like a cute name for a dog. Like, I'm naming my dog Zebby. I got my phone, I wrote it in my notes, and I put Zebby. Like, that's going to be her name. Like, I don't even have her yet, but that's gonna be her name when I get a dog. 2-3 months later, I was out eating at a restaurant with one of my friends, and we were sitting right next to 5 cops. We were just talking and stuff, and like, they were talking about like dogs, and like, this one cop was like, yeah, like, I just got this Doberman. Like, he's like showing his friends, like, you know, they're just all talking. And so I overheard, and I was like, there was like barely any people in the restaurant. It was like such a slow day. And so I was like, oh. So I literally went up to it, like, I turned and I went up to it and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I overheard your conversation, and I heard you say you got a Doberman. Like, do you know anyone that's selling one right now? Like, whatever. He was like, I just got a Doberman from Dallas. He's like, but actually I know one of my buddies who was also a cop. He's like, I know one of my buddies that is selling a Doberman right now. He's having a baby and they can't keep her. And I was like, oh my god, perfect. I was like, can you please like ask him if I can see pictures of her and like this and this and that. He's like, yeah. So he calls him. He's like, hey, like, I have a girl here that's interested in the dog. Like, she wants to see the pictures and stuff. And so he sends him pictures, and like, he showed me, and I was like, oh my god, she's so cute. If I can get his number and stuff. So he's like, yeah. So he gives me his number, and I message him like, hey, I'm interested in your dog. Like, we're gonna go see her. Like, she's so cute. And he sent me like more pictures of her. He's like, yeah, she's only 6 months. Like, me and my wife are having a kid. We can't take care of her anymore. Like, we already have a Great Dane and a German Shepherd. We set up a date that week. And, like, we go and see the dog, and we're like, we want her. He would always like message me, like, how is she? Like, this and this and that, like, whatever. And then also, like, the whole point of like getting her too was also to put her in like in training, and to like learn like bite work and like protection and like obedience, all that, like, you know, because I had so much of anxiety and trauma that I could not step foot into a store by myself, y'all. It got to a point where like, so after the robbery, obviously, like, I was very depressed, like very depressed, y'all. Like, I would cry every single day. Like, at night I couldn't sleep. I even went to go like get like a therapist and like talk to like doctors and like just going through all this shit, right? The whole point also was to get a dog was because so that I could take her to places with me, because my anxiety was really bad. I remember this one time going in Walgreens, this is like the first time where it hit me to where I'm like, oh my god, like, I had PTSD. Like, I went into Walgreens, and it was like not too many people, but like I went in there and like I saw like a couple of guys, And I was like, oh my god, like I can't do it. Like I walked out of Walgreens, right? Like I wasn't even in there for a minute. Like I'm just in there, like I started getting anxiety, my heart started racing. I'm like, oh my god, like what if someone shoots me? My whole mindset, like the mindset that I had, and I still have it till this day, is I always think something's gonna do something to me again. Like I don't know, like my mind is just fucked. It's like how I think. Like I even stopped going out to bars and clubs. Like I stopped all that. Like I stopped so much shit. Like I'm a whole different person than I was last year, and it's like crazy to me how I see things like very differently and stuff. But anyways, I remember getting back in my car and calling my boyfriend, and I'm like crying. I'm like, I can't walk into the store. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm getting anxiety. Like I cannot walk into the store. Like I saw too many guys, and it just like it triggered me. Like I just can't do it. After that, like I just could not go into any store. Like I would keep trying. Like I would keep going to stores like by myself. I literally could not do nothing, like at all. So that's when I put my dog into training. January, we put her into training, and then I was able to take her to like stores and stuff like that. And so everywhere I went, even if it was a mall, even if it was Ulta, even if it was Kroger, whatever it was, I would take her with me all the time. And she was very protective, and I think it was because she came from a cop. So I don't know if he would like bring her to places, and like I don't know like what it was, but it was just so crazy how like I was watching a cop show and I got her name from a cop show, and then we ended up getting her from a cop in Houston. And yeah, till this day we still keep in touch and stuff. And he literally like missed Zebby so much that he went and got another Doberman, because he was just like, you can tell in a way he kind of like regretted. I didn't feel comfortable being on social media as to why I wasn't being consistent. I felt very uncomfortable being on social media and like doing videos, and like I couldn't do what I wanted to do also because like if I would have vlogged me going to stores and stuff, you guys would see like, why is she acting like this? Like why is she like, a huge part also had to do with them. So that was another reason why I wasn't consistent. Now I feel a lot better being on social media. So like I've been very consistent on like TikTok and stuff, and I've been writing out ideas on like what to do on YouTube, because I want to be like back on YouTube like full time. Like I want to start filming again. But another thing was also just spreading like awareness on like choosing y'all's friends, you guys. Like being careful of who you call your friends, and like, you know, just stop being so quick to call somebody your friend, because there are people out there that will literally plot on you and set you up. Like there is people out there, like it's because I went through it, you know, like I experienced it, and I never ever thought like I would ever go through something like that, especially from a friend that I was close to at the time, which was very like crazy and insane to me. So like I will not make friends with like anyone. Like I just have like anxiety with making friends. I only have like 2 real friends in my life, and I'm like, that's all I need. Like my ex, other people back then were used to be like, stop being friendly with these bitches, like stop being friendly, like, you know, like they would always tell me and stuff. But like me being so blinded and just like like whatever, like not like that never came across my head to where like, oh, what if someone robs me and sets me up and stuff, or like, you know, bringing them into my home and seeing what they like, what I have. Like I never thought come across someone's like head like to do that. It's very sickening, especially to your own friend. Like imagine hanging out with someone for 8 months and you guys are doing stuff and this and this and that, like thinking that's your friend, and they ended up like setting you up to a point to where it's like her and him having to sit down and talk about how are we gonna do it. Oh, we'll like, have a gun to her head. Like to taking it to that far is very sick and disgusting to me. I'm just like, how? Like people like really don't give a fuck. Like I could have, like he could have shot me and she probably wouldn't give a fuck, only because of literally material stuff that was in my home. Like that was literally it to get you. Like girl, what? Like you really have to be sick in the fucking head to do that to somebody. So if you feel like something is off about a person, trust it. If your friend is acting funny, cut the bitch off. Like whatever. I came to a point where like with people, like after the robbery, like I had this one friend, and you know, like she kind of did something I didn't I just was like, no, you know, we'll literally just cut you off. I won't even text you and explain like, oh, you did this and this and that. Like, it will be to a point where I'm just like, we're done. Be very aware of, you know, who you bring into your home too, you know, where you lay your head at night, where you, it's like your home, like that's your safe place. That's where you know, lay your head at every night, you know, to not let just anyone come into your home. And I had so many gut like feelings and like off about her. Like, I didn't even like, I didn't trust it. Like, I didn't listen to it. I was just like, why am I feeling like this about her? And like, I was just like, oh well, like I would ignore it. And then like after, obviously like after everything happened, I was like, damn, like God gave me so many signs about this person and I didn't even like I ignored them, like, you know. And so definitely life lesson learned. I wouldn't say I regret it. I don't regret being friends with her. I feel like in the long run it would have been worse for me, and I feel like I would have still been very like friendly and outgoing and very like till this day. So I feel like I'm glad that it happened. Like, it was meant to happen, because it definitely has changed me, and I'm definitely like, I'm careful on who is in my life and who is also in my home. I have very strict rules on who is allowed to come into my home and just stuff like that. Like, it's been a lot of stuff that I had to like arrange with like my boyfriend and like my family and like my other friends. Like, I'm very careful on like what I put out on social media now. Like, if I'm somewhere eating, I don't post it right there and then. I save it and I post it later. As to why I stopped being consistent on social media. So I hope you guys can understand and you guys know a little bit about my story. And I know that a lot of people, you guys, if you're watching this and you went through something like this, you know, like, y'all are not alone. Like, I promise, like, it will get better. I also started getting closer to God and like just praying. I had a lot of fear. Like, I had just a lot of fear with everything. And you know, my friend told me like, you cannot live in fear. Like, you literally cannot live in fear. Okay, so it is the next day. My camera ended up dying, y'all. It would have taken a while for it to charge and to just film it the same day, so I just ended up editing the video and stuff. But I know you guys are probably wondering like, oh my god, like what happened to her, like this and this and that. Well, they both ended up getting charged with aggravated robbery and deadly weapon, and she is still having court like till this day. Sick as fuck. Also, I forgot to mention that I don't know if she didn't know this, but like that apartment, there was literally cameras everywhere. When we were talking to like the detectives and stuff, like in the apartment, all of us, he was like, yeah, we're gonna pull up like the footage and stuff. She's like, okay, like going, like crying, like, okay, yeah, like yeah, pull up the footage and stuff. I'm like, girl, you are looking dumb, bitch. You are looking dumb. While I was editing this video, I was like, damn, like I forgot to mention this and I forgot to mention that and this. Like, my head's just everywhere. Also because it's my first time making a video this long and like telling like this long of a story on YouTube, so like I'm not used to it. But if you guys want me to do like a part 2 or something and like answer more questions that you guys have, feel free to ask. I'm gonna, you know, obviously answer the questions that I can, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I had to leave out. I'm gonna say this again, okay? Please be careful of who you call your friend and who you bring into your home. Please, okay? Because you'll be surprised, bitch. You will be surprised, okay? Do not be friendly. One thing I'm gonna tell you guys, do not be friendly to these hoes, okay? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I used to be super friendly and outgoing and like like with just anyone. Like, now I'm like if you guys were to meet me in person, like obviously I'm gonna be sweet as hell and like, oh my god, like, you know. But I'm just very careful. I'm like, okay, like I'll be nice to you. I'm gonna be the way I am, but I'm not just gonna be like, okay, you're my friend, like come over. Like, no, we're not doing that. That's not what we're doing, okay? I get a bunch of DMs on like what videos you guys want me to do. So, I'm gonna do that, okay? I promise. I'm back on my fucking shit. Okay, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Everything will be down in the description below. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day.